Alrighty, hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to rank your business #1 on Google. So at RevXperts, we do this for home service companies exclusively. So roofing contractors, HVAC contractors, we only work with home service companies. So if you have a business where you want to rank for one specific service in a bunch of different areas, that's what we know how to do extremely well. And so that's what I'm gonna teach you guys. So let's get right into it. So first thing we want to talk about is what are the actual ranking factors. And I want to talk about this opening up here. I want to talk about it through the lens of Google. This is from Google. This is not from me. And so what Google says are the factors is proximity, relevance, brand awareness, and traffic. So for proximity, really we're talking about how close your business is to the location that you want to rank for. Relevance is, this one's a little bit self-explanatory, but for relevance, we're just talking about when people are searching things on Google, how relevant do you seem to be? You know, are you talking about the things that they're searching? Brand awareness is ultimately just how authoritative your website is, your Google business profile, all of that. Traffic is essentially, you know, if you're getting traffic to your website, that's actually a ranking factor. When Google sees people click on your website, go to your website, stay on your website, those types of things are big ranking factors as well. Now, let's get into very specific ranking factors. So Google My Business signs, signals is what I would want to call this. So again, it's proximity, and then categories, keyword in the business name, things like that are signals to Google that help you rank. The next thing is links. So the number of other companies or websites that link to your website is a huge factor. And then also anchor text is something like, okay, let's say somebody is going to link to your website, and let's say you're a roofing company in Lancaster. Let's say the main keyword you want to show up for is roofing Lancaster, PA. On that link, you would write roofing Lancaster, PA, and then you'd link that word to the website. So that's an example of anchor text. Then reviews, the quantity of reviews, how often you're getting reviews, and how diverse your reviews are is a ranking factor. We have citations. Citations, we'll get into this a bit more, but they need to be consistent. Your name, address, and phone number need to be the same across the internet everywhere. So how many of these you have and how quality each of these, how quality they are is a ranking factor. And then lastly, behavioral signals. So this is click-through rate. How many people are seeing your business and then clicking on it? Google looks at that, and if a lot of people see your business and they're clicking on it, Google likes that. They're going to show you more on the platform. Asking questions, thumbs up in reviews, commenting, all of that stuff is relevant. So there's, as you can see, there's tons of factors. What we want to focus on is, you know, we don't just want to spend our time on everything. We want to spend our time on the things that are going to have the biggest impact the fastest. And that's what we're going to talk about. So GBP optimization. Oh, I have a spelling problem here, but this is the Google business profile optimization, how well your profile on Google is optimized. I can skip ahead and show you. I'm referring to this in the Google Maps section. Okay. So #1, it needs to be verified. If you're not verified, do that. #2 is you want to have your listing fully optimized. So essentially when you're in your listing, editing it, go through every single section that exists and fill it out to the best of your ability. Try to incorporate keywords when you can. And keywords for like home service companies is simple. Usually it's the service followed by the location. So that's it, roofing in Lancaster, roofing Lancaster. Like that is the primary keyword for that industry. So you just want to go through, fill it out, and add service, location, relevant things when it makes sense. Which again, that goes into target keywords and description. You want to have a diverse range of images. So upload a bunch of great images. We don't always do this for our clients because we don't always have it, but ideally, you also want to have one optimized video attached to your Google business profile. So you're probably, already getting the hang of it. You just want to be extremely thorough and incorporate keywords when you can, and just kind of go overboard anywhere you can. which, adding a video to your Google business profile is just another example of like, how can we, be overkill on this? And that's what you want to do. Because the whole idea here is you want to just do more than what other people are doing, and you want to do it better than how they're doing it. It's competition. SEO is purely competition. All right, the next thing is local citations. Again, I'll talk about this, but you just need to have more than your competition. The way I like to explain it usually is go find what citations your competitors have, add all of them, and then add more. So find what they have, do that, then double down, add more. Overkill. The next thing is backlinks to your listing and citations. Again, this is just having other websites out there linking back specifically to your GBP. It's creating like a spider web out on the internet, makes you more relevant, more brand awareness. And then you want a lot of reviews, which we have an entire SOP for, specifically for contractors. We can zoom in on this. We don't need to go into this, but there's you want to get a lot of reviews, and I always recommend starting that review process during your sales process. So when you're out at a job and you're giving the estimate, let them know that your goal is to do such a good job for them that they're excited to leave you a 5-star review. And then once you complete the job, follow up, make sure they're really happy, give them the link to leave a review, and do it when you're there at the job site with them, because their happiness level is going to be at their peak. It's the most ideal time to ask for a review. We've worked with some very large companies in the home service space, and we've actually just learned this process from them. We've worked working with clients that have thousands of Google reviews. They know exactly what to do, and so we've outlined this process. But again, it starts in the sales process, and then follow up at the job in person, give them the link, ask for that review. A lot of people are going to do it. They're really happy right in that moment. So take advantage of that. Not take advantage of them, but take advantage of that timing. All right. Looks like I lost my face somewhere through this process, but that's okay. You don't need to see me. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Citations. My face is back. There we go. Hi. Citations. What are they? Citations are links from business directories. What are business directories? Things like Yelp, Angie, Nextdoor. You've heard of them. They're out there. They're prominent. They show up a lot on Google. So get listed on them. It's as simple as that. Just get listed. The important thing with getting listed on all these places across the internet is having the same business name, exactly the same. If your business name on your Google business profile is Roofing Contractor LLC, everywhere else that you listed on the internet, you got to type in Roofing Contractor LLC. So if you don't want the LLC long-term everywhere, just delete the LLC on your Google business profile and list it, the way you want it everywhere else. Just make sure it's consistent. Same thing with your address. This is your business address, not your email address or anything. This is your business address, location. This is a proximity thing. Again, ranking factor. And then the last thing is your phone number. This is your contact information. Should be consistent across the internet. We don't want to confuse Google. If we do, you won't rank. This applies to your website, your Google business profile, and everywhere across the internet. Last thing is, I already said this, but I want to double down on this. There's tools you can use to look at your competitors' citations, White Spark, things like that. You can also pay people online. You want to find all the citations that your competitors have. Usually what I recommend is finding the top 3 companies in your area, in your industry, in your same service area, and examine what they're doing, because they're clearly doing something right. So find the citations, do exactly what they're doing, and then double down and add more, which you can use White Spark, Bright Local, or a company like us to do that. If you work with a company like us, we're using Bright Local anyhow. So you could do, if you're going to do this thing yourself, you can do Bright Local. It's kind of hard to do if you don't fully know, but there's YouTube videos everywhere for everything. So check that out if you want to do that. Interlinking citations is also an important thing. So when you're creating your profiles on all these different directories, whenever you can, link your social media, your website, GBP. If you ever post on your GBP, which I recommend you do consistently, find ways to link your GBP to other areas that you're listed online, to your website, to citations, whatever it might be. In your citations, link to the Google business profile. So you get the idea. You want to be listed on a lot of places across the internet with very consistent information, and then you want to try to tie that all together in a nice like spider web. And the way you do that is by linking things to each other. So I hope that makes sense for you. The next thing is data aggregators. So I'm sure like Foursquare, if you're familiar with that, that's a data aggregator. These are made usually automatically. So if you ever see information that's out there on the internet and you're like, I never did that, it's probably a data aggregator through Google, where they just take information from a bunch of citations and then make your listing or whatever. You can claim these. So once they're made, you can go and claim them, which I recommend you do to then optimize them even better. In terms of citations, we're very focused on helping home service companies beat their competition on Google. So we do have a list of citations. These are general citations that apply to everybody. I recommend you do these. It's a big list. I don't know, it might be 50 or so. So you want to do these. And then we also have another list specific to, some of them are general, but some of them are also specific to just the home service industry. So you'll see contractor related things, roofing related things, whatever it might be. So we have a resource with this as well that we like to follow. So if anyone wants it, just let me know. All right, next step. So how to be number one in the Google Map Pack. This is the Google Map Pack. This is what we're talking about. So let's get even more detailed. Step one is on-page SEO. So you want to get the site ranking organically in Google. Your website, if you rank your website organically in Google, it's going to be a lot easier to rank your Google business profile. You want to make sure that your GBP mentions the location you're trying to rank your Google business profile for. You also want to have that consistent on your website everywhere, right? Consistency and focus. What's the main service and the main locations that we care about? Then be consistent. You want to fill out everything in your Google business profile. I already mentioned that. Make sure your categories, so your primary category is one of the bigger ranking factors. Make sure that is the same or similar to the other companies ranking in the top positions. Make sure you add a lot of photos and make sure that the file name is your main keyword. So roofing Lancaster, roofing Westchester, whatever it might be when you do this. And then you want to continuously get reviews, and it's great when you can have keywords sprinkled into the reviews. That's pretty straightforward. Try to get people to mention the service and the location when you do stuff. And then when you reply, you can do the same thing. Now, just make sure you get real reviews. Google knows if they're fake, so just don't do it, in my opinion. There's a bunch of tricky strategies out there to get fake reviews, but from my perspective, if you're actually doing business and have happy customers, just take advantage of that. Don't try to be tricky on that one. And then FAQs and keyword-rich questions. So in your Google business profile, there's the Q&A section or whatever. Write your own questions and get answers. All right, step 2 is off-page SEO. So on-page is the things you do on your Google business profile, on your website. Off-page is everything that's done outside of your profile and your website. One of the biggest things for local SEO and ranking on Google is local citations, which I already talked about. Yelp, Foursquare, Bing, etc. Just make sure you're consistent. Again, I think, because I'm being repetitive, I'm hoping to really convey the most important things. Custom map pin citations is another thing that you can do. There's videos all on the internet about that as well. This stuff gets a little bit more technical. Honestly, it probably would just make sense to look at these and then you can go research exactly how to do each one. Some of them are very straightforward, like have a map embedded on your website. So on your website, if you can have a map that shows where your Google business profile is based out of, that's very helpful. And then make sure your name, address, and phone number are in the footer of your website or contact page. Just make sure it's very prominent. All right. Now, this is where a lot of that stuff is pretty simple. It's very straightforward for us. We like to do all of that stuff and the first 30 days of working with our clients. Now, in competitive industries, your website needs to rank in order for your Google business profile to rank. This is not 100% true, but this is typically the case. It's going to be very hard to rank in the top 3 for your Google business profile if your website doesn't have good SEO. And so there's some high-level fundamental things that you just need to keep in mind for optimizing your website. Number 1 is having location plus service pages. Number 2 is blogs, new content being posted based on keywords and questions people ask about your industry to build authority. Backlinks, getting other websites to link to your website. Usually that's through the process of press releases or niche edits or different things like that, where there's articles written out online that you write yourself or pay other people to write, and then that links back to your website. Continues with that spider web. The thing with backlinks is it's ideal to get links from other websites that are like bigger than you, obviously more powerful, more authoritative. That's what you want to do. It's always great to have a FAQ section on your website. So, from your sales process, what are the common questions that you get? We use ChatGPT for this. With this, we'll use ChatGPT and do a very simple prompt, like, pretend that you're a homeowner evaluating different roofing companies, or have questions about your roof for a roofing company. Like, what would the most common questions be? Something like that. And then you get a list of those FAQs and you incorporate them into your online presence. So you're already proactively answering questions that homeowners might have. You want to have long form content. So long form content that is, you have sprinkled in keyword optimized images, videos, H tags. So H tags are like your different titles on the page. That plays a really big, a shockingly big role with ranking on Google. Meta tags are a big thing. So if you ever look for roofing company near me and you scroll down, you'll see all the listings have titles and then little descriptions. So that's meta titles, and meta descriptions are also a ranking factor. You want them to be relevant and have the right keywords based on what people are searching. And then you have outbound links, link building in general, interlinking. You want to create a site map, submit that to Google Search Console, all of that stuff. All of this stuff plays a role. So there's so much that goes into it. You want your website to be fast. You want it to be mobile friendly. You want it to have an SSL certificate, which is just a standard at this point anyways. And then you want to have a presence on social media. You don't have to go crazy with social media, just consistently posting, link to the website. You can be pretty casual about this. The social media stuff doesn't have to be some big strategy. We also have pretty strong opinions on how website architecture should be structured for a home service business. And the way we break it down is like this. It's you're going to have a homepage, and I think your homepage should be focused on just telling people who you are and what you do and where you do it. So the big things that I will always like to focus on for the homepage are, let's list out all of our services, and let's list out all the areas that we provide those services. Those are the two things I care about from an SEO perspective, and then link to those other pages from the homepage. Now, I also like to spice it up with, put in testimonials, different value propositions, what makes you special. All that stuff is really important too. Your homepage is like the home base for everything. But then you want to link out to those other pages. So your homepage is going to be, roofingcompany.com. And then for your services, you might have a service that's roof replacement, another service that's roof repair. So when someone clicks roof replacement, they should go to a page that then talks about roof replacement. And then on the roof replacement page, I like to have a service areas section. It's like, hey, these are all the areas we offer roof replacements in. And then that can link to another page that then is talking about roof replacements in this area. And the way you should structure your URLs, my favorite way is number one, you want to have you want to have your main company. So roofingcompany.com/roof repair. or roofingcompany.com/roof replacement. That's just like that's just going to be your home base for that specific service. But then what we also like to do is we like to have something that we call mini home pages. So you're going to have roofingcompany.com/location. And you can do dozens of those or hundreds of those. So as many areas as you service, you want to have a page that's for each location for your primary service. This can get kind of complex, but you can screenshot here and zoom in on it and kind of see how we like to structure this so that everything's interlinked, but we're also addressing every service combined with every area that you offer the service in. That is so important for ranking organically in traditional search results, but also because your website is linked to your GBP, this stuff plays a big role for ranking in the Google Maps, which is, in my opinion, not even my opinion, the data tells us that's where the money's made, showing up in the top 3 of Google Maps. Here's an example of this. So here's a page for a roofing company, and this specific page is targeting the keyword roofing Westchester, roofing company in Westchester. We actually simplified this one. If you scroll down on this page, we also have like roof replacement keywords in here, roof repair. So it talks about everything related to roofing in this one location. I do like this strategy as well. It's a lot simpler to implement, but sometimes it's some people argue that you would break this out into roof repair Westchester, roof replacement Westchester, and you'd have separate pages for like different sub-services within the main service for that location. Different opinions here. And then here's another example of the same website, same thing. We're trying to rank for everything related to roofing in Downingtown, which is just another location, right down the road. So this is building that local relevance with Google while at the same time building topical authority, because we're talking about so many different, I think we probably mentioned shingles on this page, different materials, different services related to roofing. Like we talk about so much on this page. So we're building that topical authority as well. So this is very, very important. So that's it. That's all I have right now. I think I wanted to keep this pretty high level and just kind of throw everything at you in hopes that anyone who watches this has questions, or it just triggers you to start, Googling and YouTube searching the proper things to get you where you need to go. But at a high level, this is just like, just the map, putting the map on the wall so that you can get direction and understand what things need to be done at a very high level. So I hope this is helpful.